Hey family, so I was out here in the garden building a compost bin, and I thought I'd give you guys an update on what's growing in the garden right now. So stay tuned, and we're gonna get into some broccoli and some Brussels sprouts. Good morning family. Good morning family. Don't forget, grow some trees, grow some food, grow something. Let's get started. So as you guys know, winter gardening can go pretty slow. It's almost boring. But we do have some things growing out here in the garden, and I thought I would share with you guys. Last year I tried to grow Brussels sprouts and it was a complete failure. I mean, it was a total bust. But this year I actually have Brussels sprouts, and we've got some broccoli going right now too. I don't have any cauliflower heads, but I've got cauliflower and cabbage. So I'm going to do a quick update and show you guys how everything is progressing. So let's start with the Brussels sprouts here. This is like my pride and joy right now. I'm really loving this. Do you guys see that? And they all have little Brussels sprouts on them. Don't pay any attention to my hands. I was over there working with wood. So yeah, they're a little rusty right now. Look at that. So these guys are doing really well. If you come over here, see all of my broccoli heads. You guys, when I say I love broccoli, I mean I love broccoli. I can eat broccoli every day, probably 2-3 times a day. That's how much I love broccoli. And these guys are gorgeous. I actually need to get some more seeds started to replace these when I pull them. Look at that. Even got a little head in there. So I did put down some giant red mustard seeds, and you know, my animals come through here and dig up everything, but you know what, I did have a few survivors, and they're doing pretty good too. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of them survived, and look at that color. I mean, that color is just gorgeous. I don't even care really too much for the flavor of the red mustard greens, but they are so beautiful growing in the garden that I kind of put up with it. So this right here is my favorite bed right now, even though I need to get under there and clean up. But of course I have the netting on here because I had to keep the skunks and the squirrels from digging this bed up like they did the others. But as you can see, we've got cabbages growing right here. And all of this is cauliflower. So hopefully I will get some little heads growing soon in there. But that's doing beautifully too. I have more cabbages over here. And then peas, which I ended up planting a few more to replace the ones that the skunk dug up. So getting a slow start on those. But these are doing pretty good so far. Like I said, the garden has taken a beating this year, and you know, like I said, it's life. It's all part of growing. It's my favorite kale right there. I just kind of refused to start over. But this is crazy. I actually have peppers on here. So these are the black Cobra peppers, and got one there and here. And yeah, I didn't expect that because our temperatures are not all that high right now. It's not warm at all. But this is a crazy year for gardening. As you guys know, everything is kind of doing its own thing this year. And the, like I said, bulbs are coming up and flowers are blooming, and you know, I'm just going to enjoy it all because, you know, we don't have any choice over what comes up and what doesn't. Look at that, the first pea blossom. So these are the sugar daddy peas. I've pulled up most of the radishes, but I still have some icicle radishes down here. And a few of the purple over here. Or no, are these the yellow ones? They are. But so far, everything is doing great. Over here, I pulled that tomato plant and everything and stuff out, but still have my kales and spinach. And then I did pick up, oh, of course, the Swiss chard. It's a gorgeous plant. I picked up some more collard starts because I was at the store and they just looked beautiful. Some peppers. I have more radishes coming up over here. And then I actually picked up a chocolate mint. So I haven't planted those yet, but they'll be going in soon. And as you can see, my Mexican lime, it is just blooming like crazy. Also have blooms over here on the Meyer lemon. So there's usually bees all over these all during the day, so hopefully we're getting some more fruit pretty soon. And I need to figure out what to do with my loquat. I can't get it to stand upright. It's just too many branches and they're heavy. And I'm hoping that I'll be getting some fruit on here pretty soon too. And I think this is the last year with these strawberry plants. And they're gonna be coming out of here pretty soon too. They're not producing as well as they used to, even though they are still producing. But I think it's time to start over with these guys. But yeah, that's pretty much what is going on out here in the garden. Like I said, I do have bulbs coming up everywhere, probably for the past month. I've got tulips coming up over here. I've got irises coming up here. If I remember correctly, I think these were daffodils that I planted over here. But they're coming up also. I've got tulips coming up back here. And daffodils coming up over here. So I guess the crocus won't be the first ones to come up this year. If you guys remember, I was kind of worried about moving the plant over there. This is the one that had the little blue flowers on it, and I just kind of butchered it, chopped it all the way down so that I could transplant it. It is a Cape Plumbago, and as you can see, it is coming back for me. So it did actually survive. Also, the little fig tree, I topped it off. I cut the entire top off, and look at that. So far, so good. Everything is doing well. I am still battling gophers and squirrels and skunks. And yeah, just that wonderful gardening life that, you know, the things we have to deal with right now. It's hard to garden in the winter time because, you know what, you get a lot of ugly in the winter time. And but once you learn to appreciate the dormancy of your plants, you know, the dormancy life of your plants, it's a little easier to look at all the brown and the bare spots, especially when you know what is going to come up in the springtime. But thank you guys for joining me today, and I will see you all in the next video.